Welcome to the official best meta tier list of March 2025 post-Maze YCS format, YCS Vegas format. Let's go. In this video, I'm going to explain and discuss all of the decks that are very good and that you should even be remotely debating taking to an event. If your deck that you love is not in this list I'm about to mention, your deck fucking sucks, okay? If it's not in one of these decks, now keep it, this is not your average Joe Schmo speaking. I'm a YCS champ, and I'm probably 10-time YCS champion when it's all said and done. Probably a 2-time YCS champion after tomorrow. Let's go. Roughly 12 hours from this, 24 hours from right now, I'm going to be a 2-time champ. Anywho, I took Malice Fiendsmith Bestial to the YCS. Why? Because it's the best fucking deck in the planet. It's the same deck I top 8'd with at YCS El Salvador in a team YCS. Sam and Pac took it with me. I built the list with Sam and Pac together, and our only loss was in top 8. Vegas is probably gonna be the same thing. My team's gonna win again, or not win, but our our only loss was in top 8. Anywho, so I'm gonna get into this video. If your deck that you love is not in this video, don't cry to me in the comments. Trif, you forgot about ABC. I didn't forget. The deck is doo-doo, hence it's not worth me speaking on. There are a specific amount of decks I will speak on in this video, and all of these decks have a chance to win a YCS. They obviously they're not all gonna win a YCS, but it is a legitimately good deck that is worth you taking. If the decks I'm gonna speak on right now are, if the deck you love is not in this video I'm gonna speak, I'm just delete your deck. I'm telling you, I don't think you guys understand how much Yu-Gi-Oh! I play. I am by far the most active Yu-Gi-Oh! Player on the planet. I play 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have no life except for helping you guys here and then when I decide to make videos. So anyways, if you're first time on the channel, smash the card special like button. I'm the greatest Yu-Gi-Oh! Player on the planet, and this information comes for free because I love you guys. So let's go. But if you guys want information that's not for free, check out my masterclasses down below and you'll figure out just how genius I am. Let's go! So first things first, I'm going to discuss the very best deck, and that is Malice Fiendsmith Bestial. The reason why is not just because Lancia is searchable now in this format, but with every shitter you're going to be playing Pure Isol, you want ways that if you get Lancia, you don't give a fuck. This has 3 engines. It has a Lubellion engine, it has a Fiendsmith engine, and it has a Malice engine. If your opponent is going to use Lancia on your Magnamut, you really do not give a fuck, because there went neg 1. Your Magnamut stays in your hand. You can use it the next turn. It's totally fine. The point of this now going second is that when you're going second against Lancia, you are having 26 to 28 hand traps in your deck, plus a Fiendsmith engine. You minimize all the Malice cards. You side out almost every Malice card. You put it to 1 each, literally. Almost side out Goldsark. That's how you put everything to 1 each. If you draw it, you draw it. But your opponent's going to be Lancia. Your opponent will be Lanciaing Fiendsmith Bestial deck with 25 hand traps post side deck. Because you're playing such a minor engine in Malice Fiendsmith Bestial with 1 cat and no TB11, then if your opponent, a lot of the times they won't even see Malice game 1 or 2. They don't side the Lancia if they just see Fiendsmith Bestial, so you just obliterate them. It's by far the best positioned deck, and it simply just has the best matchup versus every deck. The Fiendsmith allows you to grind the Pure Isol dogshit deck, because the only play Pure Isol has is Pure Isol. A simple Lakuma Requiem coming back permanently is enough to win the grind game. Because you're playing 25, I'm playing 22 hand traps in my main deck, there's 25 post side, 28 post side if you count Bestials. So Lubellion, also, lastly, even though you're playing Malice Fiendsmith, the Bestials you're playing are 3 Lubellion, 1 Druis, 1 Magnamut, 1 Baldrake. So it's actually 6 Bestials that pair with the 5 Malice normal summons. You play 1 Rabbit, 1 Cat, 3 Dormouse. So the Bestials are absurd bombs with the Malice cards, and even if you just make the Link 3, like let's say you start with Field Spell, you get to a Link 3 extremely easy, and it's almost impossible to lose through 3 hand traps even. It's almost impossible. When you draw a Fiendsmith card and a Malice card, there's no collection of cards to stop Underground. Even if they Valor it, it's like you're Valoring Necroquip. With Necroquip on the field, you're going to Valor my Mouse. I have 2 monsters on the field. You lost a card, I drew a card, I go straight to Link 3. It's absurdly powerful, and it's the best deck by far, because the best position. And if you get Lancia, you don't give a fuck. I OTK anyways. Through Lancia, you could set up Agnumde, and then Agnumde is going, you put 1 more monster up, and then you just make a Bow. So you have a Bow Desiree through Lancia with 25 hand traps. So you're literally playing Fiendsmith Bestial, which is an incredible controlled deck after Lancia. So that's the worst case scenario. Without Lancia, they auto die. The next deck that is in the only other tier, the tier 1, I have 2 decks. I have Malice Fiendsmith. The second one is Ryzeal Mitsurugi. The reason why I say this is Mitsurugi cards provide a better grind game, like a Prayer's Ame no Murakamo loop of prayers. This is without Kusanagi. This is without Purification. This is my way to play Raizo Mitsurugi, which the only people that are on are the people on my Mitsurugi masterclass. Kusanagi is absolutely dog shit. I've never missed it once in my life since I cut it. You do not need to play it. The way you play Raizo Mitsurugi is the same way you play normal Raizo. You play the same deck the way you play normal Raizo, except you add a 9 Mitsurugi count that act as level 4 extenders. However, when you have cross up or when you hard draw prayers or ritual, 1 Pharaoh Limps leads to full combo with cross in the field. So it gives you an absurdly higher game 1 play where it's almost you auto win the game. So people playing Slayer, Tronus, you're not gonna do shit. You're gonna have 9 interruptions. Board breakers will do absolutely fuck all, and the amount of hand traps you will need to stop me are more than you can imagine. And there's no bricks because prayers or Asaji in your hand are putting themselves on the field, forcing a hand trap, and you're simply just continually playing Raizo. You're gonna have 3 hand traps with Duo Detonator Dweller, even through the hand traps. It provides a much better ceiling while still having the same high floor Raizo does, and the grind that Fiendsmith does. So it does the Raizo, Fiendsmith, Mitsu pros of each of the 3, while still being able to play just one of the high ceiling Mitsu if you really want to go for game or set up an absurd amount of interrupts, or have the floor of Raizo by having still max out Raizo cards. And then post side deck, Raizo Mitsurugi gives you the option to play pure Raizo if you like, but with an advantage. If you're playing Raizo Mitsurugi, there's 9 Raizo Mitsurugi cards you play. You can check it out on my masterclass if you like the deck list. You simply side out your Mitsurugi cards for 9 more hand traps, and then you're playing 27 hand traps post side deck going second with a full Raizo count. And the extra, you cannot do that. Now your opponent is gonna end on Dweller. They think you're playing Mitsurugi. They're gonna end on Dweller. They're gonna keep Bystials in their deck. They're gonna do everything they can to stop your Mitsurugi cards. They're gonna think in their head, oh shit, oh fuck. Mitsurugi Ritual, Mitsurugi Prayers, oh my god, I have to save this card for that. I'm gonna save my Impulse for Mitsurugi Ritual. Mitsurugi Ritual is not even in your deck. Your Ice Raizo will resolve against Impulse because they're saving the Impulse for your Mitsurugi Ritual or Prayers, which is not even in your deck. Or they're saving their Ash for Prayers, etc., etc. They're saving their Solemn Judgment for Prayers. Ritual spell is not even in your fucking deck. So it gives you a competitive edge over pure Raizo post side deck, where you could just go second, play pure Raizo. By playing pure Raizo, they know exactly what you're playing. By playing Mitsurugi Raizo, they don't know you're on Mitsurugi or Reptiles, so they'll plan accordingly. Additionally, as far as competitive advantage is concerned, Mitsurugi Raizo, you always hand trap the first Raizo card. Because if they have 2 Raizo cards, you literally auto lose no matter what happens. You must stop the first Raizo you see. However, in pure Raizo, you never stop the first Raizo you see because you're like, oh, let's have another duo. You don't really care about the end of that shit. So it gives you another competitive advantage. If they see Reptiles game 1 and 2, game 3, let's say you're going second, game 2 or game 3, then they're like, okay, I'll let your 1x Raizo, I'll have to stop your 1x Raizo because you're playing, you have another, you'll lose, but you're playing pure Raizo at this point. You want them to stop your first Raizo, because then you make duo, etc., etc. So it works out incredibly. So if you're ever gonna take pure Raizo, it has to be Raizo Mitsu. It's not a choice because you have the same thing going second, but you just have an absurdly better game 1, absurdly better time game 3 if you're going first. It's no questions asked. The next deck I'm gonna put, which is now high tier 2, is Raizo Fiendsmith. Raizo Fiendsmith is better than pure Raizo because it does everything pure Raizo does, but it includes a crazy grind game of Fiendsmith. Alternatively, or additionally, when you're facing the Raizo matchup, which you're gonna have a lot of now, more people playing pure Raizo than Raizo Fiendsmith for some crazy reason. It's a crazy loop, okay? People started playing pure Raizo in YCS Anaheim. It just came out. More than everything else, pure Raizo was the most famous. So I decided to take Raizo Fiendsmith and win one of these. And Raizo Fiendsmith, because I won with it at the first YCS the Raizo came out, everyone played Raizo Fiendsmith after that. Everybody in the world. Then, since everyone's playing Raizo Fiendsmith in the world, there's no more pure Raizo. So the meta shifted to play a lot of Bystials, a lot of Dweller, a lot of ways to destroy Raizo Fiendsmith. Well, now that everyone's playing Bystials and ways to stop the Fiendsmith engine, well, then people started playing Malice Bystial, because Malice Bystial is such an amazing matchup versus it, because of Bystial's obviously in engine. Alright, and then people started playing pure Raizo right now, basically, because everyone's playing ways to stop the graveyard. But now, since everybody's playing pure Raizo, we're gonna go back to the circle of life where it began. Pure Raizo was first, but Raizo Fiendsmith obliterated it. Then everyone was on Malice Bystial, but Malice Bystial was very good versus Raizo Fiendsmith because of all the Bystials. And then it led to people playing pure Raizo, which could now search Lancia and destroy Malice Bystial and destroy everyone else. Now everyone's playing pure Raizo. Well, then it shifts down. If everyone's playing pure Raizo again in the circle of life, well, now we're going to play Raizo Fiendsmith. So Raizo Fiendsmith just cannot lose to pure Raizo because it does everything that pure Raizo does, But the Lacrima keeps coming back with many interactions. They just cannot deal with it in the grind game at all. So Rise of Fiendsmith is the third best deck in my opinion. High tier 2, low tier 1. I do think Malice Fiend and Rise of Mitsu are just the two best decks. Rise of Fiendsmith is close as the next best deck in my opinion is Mermail, tied with pure Rizal. I'm going to talk about Mermail first. Mermail is absurdly powerful because you can never hand trap it. You have to pray they break. You need a collection of 3 hand traps to stop them. And even then, you need Fuwa basically. Without Fuwa, you lose. Even Perulia is not enough. Droll is not enough. It's such a good deck. However, it loses to Dweller, and it loses to sometimes Book of Moon on Prince, sometimes going second if you have a way to just get Prince off field before cost resolves, and sometimes through a board, sometimes it breaks as well. So Mermail is a great deck, and people's side decks are prepared for Malice and Rizal, not so much Mermail. Because people are prepared for Malice and Rizal way more than Mermail, Mermail becomes a very well-positioned deck. Very well-positioned deck. So I think Mermail is the next one at tier 2. There's some issues with it, but I think the other 3 I mentioned are better. Pure Rizal is still a very well-positioned deck, not because of Tachyon, because of Twins of the Eclipse. It's still a very good deck because it has 25 non-engine and 13 very good starters. Node cross plugin, okay, at 24 non-engine. That's pretty fucking good. The main deck 24 non-engine. That's like post-side how most decks looks like. So it has a very good game 1, but the reason why it's not that crazy, every deck could kind of game 2 and 3 do the same thing, put up 24 non-engine anyways, and it's not like you're gonna side on Rizal. Just their game 1 is nice going second, but it's so easy to defeat. My issue with Pure Rizal is my same issue with Pure Malice. Pure Rizal is so streamlined. Metaltron is Slayer, auto lose. Everyone knows. Detonator, duo drive, stop the duo drive, the end of detonator, duo cross. It's so streamlined. You know exactly what's coming on. You play this matchup a billion times. It's so streamlined and easy. You just stop the detonator. If you're going first, you thrust D-barrier, they pass. It's so streamlined and easy. At least with Rise of Fiendsmith, it adds an extra layer of interrupts with Caesar and Paradise on top of that, and an infinite Fiendsmith follow-up, so it's not like that one turn you have to deal with. Pure Rise also gets dicked on by Typhon way more. There are issues with the deck, but there are also good parts of the deck that you could main 24 non-engine. So it's good, but I think it's the 5th best deck to those, arguably better than Mermail, but those are the 5 best decks so far. And the 6th deck I want to mention is Pure Malice. Pure Malice, obviously people could now search Lancia. I don't think Tachyon's good. It's a neg 1. Tachyon's a neg 1. No one's playing Small World. So you could also Small World search Lancia too, as much as you like. You could also Small World search Droll against the other decks that it's good against. Like either Droll or Lancia is absurd, right? But no one's playing it. And to put back a spell card is almost irrelevant. Sure, yeah, you can put back a spell card. What spell card is Rizal fucking playing? Like it's 3 Bonfire, 3 Imperm, cross plugin, 32 monsters. Bro, like no one's playing Small World anyways. So why the fuck are you gonna play Tachyon? They're all shit. Eventually everyone will remove Tachyon. Yeah, you can search Lancia. Yeah, you could fucking do the same shit with Small World. It's just your brains are not big enough to compute a middle bridge to get to Lancia. They could all get to Lancia extremely easily without adding bricks. Everything in the deck's alike. Easily you could search it. Axed Valor Lancia. Nice. Any of them search it. Ice, same thing. Ice and Lancia are even both 1700. So that's fucking even easier to find a way to search it. And that concludes what I believe are the 6 decks that could win on YCS. Okay, Pure Malice, I don't think could ever win because everyone will be playing Lancia, but it's an incredibly powerful deck if you don't get Lancia. So the only way to play Pure Malice is you're gonna have to side deck. You have to play a 40 card deck in Pure Malice, and you have to side deck Called By, 3 cross out, 3 thrust, and you play 25 hand traps main deck, so you don't need to side in too much shit going second. And going first, you put in 3 thrust, 1 talent, 3 cross out, 1 Called By. You side in the Lancia and the Foalos and the Meows probably, and 1 Sanctum or 1 Mischief for the Gnomes, depending on the matchup. You put that's what you need to do. So if you get Lancia, you turn skip them as well, and then it becomes pretty absurd, obviously. But yeah, there are a few decks that have those are the 6 best decks, okay, that I mentioned. If you notice a pattern, it's Malice, Fiendsmith, or Rizal plus Mermail. Malice, if the deck has Malice in it, it's probably pretty good. If the deck has Rizal in it, it's probably pretty good. If the deck has Fiendsmith, it's probably pretty good with Mermail. So sum up everything I just said. If there's Malice, Fiendsmith, or Rizal, that's a check. If it doesn't have them, you need another deck. I'm gonna go name some other alternatives right now to end off the video that I feel are still decent, but are just nowhere near these. I think Memento is oddly very good. I think any deck with Fiendsmith will always have a chance. I think that Blue Eyes has a chance, but it has 7 bricks. I have a Blue Eyes build with Fiendsmith, so it's pretty good. I think Primite cards are also extremely good, so if you could do Primite, Fiendsmith, Primite, Fiendsmith, Blue Eyes, The problem with this, again, there's 7 bricks, so there needs to be a 60 card deck. If you guys want to see that deck, let me know. There needs to be a ban list for anything else to change. At the if there's no ban list, if your deck doesn't have Malice, if your deck doesn't have Rise Up, if your deck doesn't have Fiendsmith, your deck sucks. With the exception of Mermail, maybe Memento. Thank you. That's about it for the video. See you in the next video. Peace.